Hello, hello, testy mic. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream today. We had to cancel Thursdays because I got sick. There's currently an outbreak in the US that has to do with our fresh produce. If you know, you know. So, let's see, last time I talked about some of the, I think, optional dungeons. I say optional, but no dungeon is truly that optional in this game. Highly recommend you do every single dungeon you could possibly get your paws on, but, it is not required for story. So, we were gonna do that Thursday, but Thursday had to get canceled, so I'm going to probably smush that in with 3.2s, because it was going to probably be short anyways, so we'll just kind of beef it up, and it'll probably run the max 3 hours, so we'll do that next Thursday, but we're going to continue on with some story. We're now in Gears of Change 3.2. Let me see what I can remember. My memory is getting foggy around 3.2. Like, I know what happens story-wise here. The first part of this is going to backtrack a little bit from what we were experiencing here. Just gonna gesture at this entire church right here, but we've got kind of some two story plots going on. One is the exorbitant change that is coming to Ishgard because of Amaric telling everybody that they're shit. No, I don't. I mean, that's the short end of it. But what it really is that people are having a conflict of faith and sorry, I'm like, I need my skirt, don't I? Yeah. Pretty much what Amric has revealed is that the church has been telling them lies, and a lot of people are having a hard time with that. And then really crappy people are just getting violent about it and want to just say Amaric's, you know, spreading lies and that he's full of shit. And then they're charging him with patricide. Is that what they were calling it? Hello, welcome. I'm doing a little bit of a recap because for me it's been a week since Thursday's stream had to be canceled. But so we have these two storylines. One's, you know, Ishgard kind of in turmoil because while we stopped the dragons from attacking, Amric has to keep the city all together as they have pretty much lowborn versus highborn now. Nobility politics. Very much in the last episode, the last thing we saw, a father of the church threw a child off of the highest balcony, and we almost had to change this rating to an M for mature game, but fortunately, Vidolfnir came by because she was invited by Lucia. And I can only imagine Vidolfnir's flying by. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go visit Ishgard for the first time. I sure hope they're not weird about it. And then there's a child being thrown off of the church. So she saves that child and lands like right over here. It wasn't the child's fault. He threw the child off of the church because he was angry that they were being told the truth of their history and that they ate dragon eyeballs and the church was horrible. So there's kind of this reconciliation that needs to happen at Ishgard. One, the church, like, needs to accept that the Dragon Song War needs to be rewritten. And then also the people need to realize that the church's still kind of good. It's just, you know, they don't need to throw the whole thing out. Personally, I would say throw the whole thing out, but that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. So there needs to be reconciliation between the church because it's a cultural thing here in Ishgard. You can't just throw out hundreds and thousands of years of culture, you know? So they're feeling a little bit threatened. Everybody's kind of feeling tight-fisted about it. What else has happened even before a child was thrown off the church? Like, oh, we found Thancred. He was naked and afraid in the forest, the Chocobo Forest. Can't quite tell what timeline he actually popped out of the live stream. They were kind of vague on that information. When I first played, I thought, oh, Thancred was whisked away after the events of A Realm Reborn and teleported to the other side. I guess he had to have been, because while Y'shtola got stuck and we had to get the elementals to vibrate angrily in her direction, and then, you know, Kane-senna was able to pull her out. Thancred, he just came out on the other side. And I think I made the comment, like, really fortunate that Y'shtola managed to teleport him somewhere in Dravania and not, let's say, you know, the ocean or whatever. I think there was a comment that he almost got teleported straight into a mountain, and he would have just been crushed by thousands of tons of rock. So, cool that he didn't. But, like we learned with Y'shtola, when you enter the live stream, you don't get to take your clothes with you, so Thancred was literally transported to in the middle of the forest that he probably doesn't know very well. I'm thinking he knows a map of all of Eorzea, I'm pretty sure. But if you just say, oh, you're in a forest, he'd probably be going, which forest? But, he was naked, and, there's a hilarious photo out there if you search for it. It was in the last stream too, of him showing up, and there's a little nut kid. This is Eorzea's version of a squirrel that covers up his junk because, again, we almost once again got an M for mature rating on this fucking game. Thankfully, that nutkin came by and said, no, it's Peggy 16. We can't have junk on the screen. So, we did not get the full money shot with Thancred. So, yeah, it's even funnier because the nut kid was covering his nuts. So, we almost got him, guys. We almost had Balcrid. But, yeah, so, he this is important because apparently he didn't go searching for us for a while because he didn't want to approach a settlement while he was fucking naked. So he wanted to make sure he had clothes first before he tried to, you know, no, the Balcrid's gonna go in my phone, like, when he calls me on the link Pearl, that's his name. So, I thought that was kind of hilarious. So he's probably been out there for a while, and, the reason why we have not encountered him up until now is because he needed clothes. Do you know how much the Scions would probably make fun of him for the rest of his fucking life? They still are. They very much are. So, the funny thing is when we go search for Thancred, of course I had to make a joke that there was somebody shaking their ass out in the forest. People kept saying, yeah, I saw Hyur, out there in the forest, and we're like, was he shaking his ass? And they're like, probably. But, when we go to find said Hyur, it was another Hyur. It was the Warrior of Darkness, is what he's calling himself. He looks like, well, I'm not playing as Meteor, but he looks like the guy who's usually in the trailers of Final Fantasy XIV. So when I remember when that patch first came out, I was like, oh, that guy's real. Like, guy is real. It's the warrior-looking guy with the big giant axe, and he's usually in the Romerborn trailer. And in the trailer for Heavensward, he's a dragoon. But we then find out, oh god, there were two Hyurs they were talking about, and Thancred obviously very much asserts that it was the other guy who was shaking his ass in the forest. It was definitely him. So, yeah, so we met the Warriors of Darkness. That was weird. So, yeah. And, so that brings me to what the other, part of the storyline is we're still trying to repair the Scions. Like, we got two, Y'shtola and Thancred, and that's great. And Thancred asks us, like, how's Minfilia? And we're like, we thought she was with you. And then he was like, I thought she was with you. So we have this moment of, like, ah, shit, like, because Minfilia does a U-turn after running out of the tunnels with us, and gets probably caught up in the flow spell as well. It's unknown what really happens to her after she leaves us. But, you know, Thancred last saw Minfilia running off with us. And last time we saw Minfilia, she was headed back to Y'shtola and Thancred's side. So, we lost Minfilia. I thought she was with you. I thought she was with you. So, yeah, that's still a thing. So, yeah. 2 stories we're going into in this patch again. One is the Scions. I think we're going to start with the Scion story, and then we're going to go back into our little Dravania versus Ishgard kind of dealio. So, as Alfino is really nailing it in here, when he says, as much as I worry for the future of Ishgard, the fate of our missing friends concerns me even more. I think at this point, we have lost sight of, it's now Minfilia, Ida, and Papalymo for too long that we're starting to think something happened. So... Alfino, Yorva! I've been looking all over for you. You've been gone for like a long ass time. Did somebody actually get thrown from the church? And we're like, no, we're not gonna go into that. We've received news regarding Flamine and Hoary Boulder and Colton. Really? Has something happened? I thought they were in Razadhan. They're like, oh, they were done with their vacation, so... No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa Lominsa. I love it. Like, they've just been... 100% they were just drinking a bunch of cocktails and eating really, really good food, and then they received the news. They're like, guys, we gotta go back to Eorzea. Like, we've been gone for too long. They should be arriving any moment now. In fact, they'll probably be, like, here in 2 minutes. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? I wish we had something called a cell phone instead, but, you know, this will work. When they work, I mean, and you don't mind being spied on. Oh yeah, this is still a surveillance state. She's like, I really yearn for the invention of the smartphone. Surely it wouldn't be a surveillance state there. Quite. He's like, why are we talking about cell phones? But what wonderful news. To think that our reunion is close at hand. Let me check my stream. Let me see what might be happening. Well, my friend, you might need to check your end because it looks like it's running smoothly on mine. We're just gonna, like, they're like, hold on, Thancred, hold on. They're like, what are you doing? She's like, we're checking the reception, and then we're like messing with some antennas or whatever, and Thancred's like, okay, whatever. Hello. But yeah, welcome, Riz, to the stream. I believe there might be a dungeon I might, do if you're, I am not quite sure if this is duty supported, so I might want a Hachi, but we'll see. Yeah, so here's Depression era Thancred. I don't know if I discussed this on the last stream when we finally found him. This outfit is atrocious. He spent all this time. It's the anti-tower. That's what we'll be doing. So, when he came in this outfit, I'm like, you spent all this time looking for clothes just to show up looking like this. This is absolutely no hate. If you actually love his outfit, I think you're valid for it, because I just love to make fun of this look, because this is... Someone with severe depression dresses themselves like this. Like... Okay... You call me out here, I know. When I say depression era, when have we not known him to be depressed? He's no longer masking anymore. Realm Reborn, he was masking. He was trying to, like, you know, hide it the best of his ability, even though we saw right through him, really. But he's no longer pretending in this form. Like, do you see that beard? Who wants to grow a beard like that? I really want to know. But, I could forgive the clothing, because the clothing can be fine. I just, there's a lot that I could dissect about this. Like, what is with the hip skirt thing? And, like, why do we have the armpits out? We're not even gonna get to the rat tail yet. Like, that one goes without saying. But, like, why do we have the armpits out? We're in Ishgard. It's cold, by the way. Alfino changed his outfit for this expansion, because his old one kind of had, like, slits around the rib cage area, or, like, waist area on his old outfit, and he even made comments that, you know, it's a bit too cold to have, like, parts of your outfit exposing it, you know, but he's got the armpits out, his chest is showing. That's acceptable only because we know that Thancred loves tits out, so... But I take issue with it. He always has to have a choker, too. But this choker is awful. Like, I'm not even sure... His classic one, and then the one he gets later on, which we'll discuss when he gets a glow up, but... Yeah, sorry to derail this entire stream to just fucking destroying Thancred. I truly don't have a problem with him. I don't. I just need to make fun of him for a long, long time because of this outfit. But and now he's like, a pleasure to see you too. He's like, Yorva's like, you look like shit, Thancred. Like, you need to get a haircut. You need to get a shave. You need to cover those armpits. That's scaring the children. Like, and he's just walking up like, a pleasure to see you too. Ah, Thancred and Cryle. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that we also sought out Cryle, and in fact, Cryle was the one who helped us even find Thancred. So, introducing Cryle, for those of you that missed it last time, she is a student of Baldessian, and if you were paying attention in A Realm Reborn, you can hear Minfilia in the background talking to her shortly after we do a rescue. And she mentions Cryle a couple of times afterwards. But Cryle has technically been in the game since A Realm Reborn. This is just the first time we're ever seeing her. So, what brings the two of you here? Thancred's like, heard you were talking shit. Cryle and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfilia, because I thought she was with you. And we may have just found the answer. Whoa, that was quick. Yorva, when you were fleeing Ul'dah with Minfilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Yorva's like, yeah, God spoke to me. Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it's not, even though when somebody says God told me and that God speaks to me, most people would be like, okay, sure. Well, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide Minfilia. Like, how does she know this, though, exactly? Is, like, there precedents to this thing? Are, like, people who are called to Hydaelyn, like, somehow whisked away? Like, I'm glad that she came to that conclusion, but, like, she came to that conclusion very casually. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, and it sounds fucking absurd, but I bet it's true. But I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the ether, or a ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found. The battleground where Yorva felled the ultimate weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. Yorva's like, when you got possessed by Laha Bran, he's like, yeah, I was trying to be subtle about it, but sure. 'Twas there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield her from the magic I invoked. I don't know if it was technically you, Thagrid. I think you could just say Laha Bran did it. Kyle and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether therein. The two of you, alone? Oh man, Kate, you have to come back because I totally, like, destroyed Thancred for, like, 5 minutes. Insulted the ever-living crap out of his fit. He's trying to get past that. He's like, Yorva, we need to have a talk. And Yorva's like, we need to shave that beard. And he's like, I have a feeling you have issue with how I'm presenting myself. And she's like, you look fugly in that outfit, man. Hold on. I also need to point out what's going on with his boots. I have like more to say because there's so much to say. Do you see his boots here? You see how they kind of end as like normal kind of, you know, like those big chunky pirate boots kind of thing? Now go up past his knees up to his thigh. And then there seems to be something that also looks like if this was like a thigh-high boot going on. But, I can see that they're trying to go for a piratey thing because right now he's going for his roguish look. He did a class change. You know, in D&D when you change your class and you're like, I'm multi-classing now. He multi-classed in rogue. So he's now using 2 daggers. One which is absurdly large, I should say. You can see it right there. And then the other one is a normal-sized dagger. Again, I can pick apart Thancred's look right now. There's too much to say. But yeah, this is a Goodwill outfit. Like, I know he had to beg the Nath, or I should say the Vath. The Vath are the good guys. He had to beg the Vath by giving them treats and said, hey, can you get me some clothing? So I guess I can't blame him too hard. He had to ask the bug people to go to a settlement and find him an outfit, and I'm pretty sure the bug people were like, yeah, this looks pretty fucking good. Let's get him some boots, and then something that also looks like a thigh-high boot, and then his stupid fucking hip skirt thing. I don't know why he has 3 buckles going over his shoulder there, and a very wide belt to handle his, 2 daggers. Again, the other dagger is, I would call a sword, so he's doing like a sword dagger thing. And then, like, he has only 1 pauldron on 1 shoulder that's being held by some straps. First of all, can I talk about his gloves too? How they're kind of like a fucking garter belt on his arms? Because again, the exposed shoulders here reveal that for some damn reason his gloves need a garter belt on his shoulders. Anyways, I know he's originally from Limsa Lominsa. He was picked up in Limsa Lominsa as a young lad by Louis Soir. But, so he does have affiliates with the pirate land or whatever, so maybe they were trying to make him look a little bit more like a pirate, but... yeah, this is... Again, we have derailed chat, or derailed all of the stream once again just to fucking destroy Thancred. And he's trying his best to ignore Yorva as she's just continuing on this rant of like, can we discuss this fucking fit? And he's just like, Alfino, okay, just look at me, don't look at her, look at me. I have proven a knack for subterfuge, and I am confident that there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Cryle while the patrols pass. Okay, first of all, I thought we destroyed the castrum, so why are there still, you know, Garleans in there? Besides, if you and Yorva come along, who will see to Flamine's grand homecoming? When you put it like that, very well, I will trust in your plan. Everybody needs their own side quests, I guess. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Minfilia, but it will at very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. At least we can say, well, she's not here. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrade's return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Lominson docks? Everyone's like, yeah, I haven't been there in a while. Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels! I'm going to get myself some applesauce. Alright, yeah. We like... It's gonna be impossible to finish this. Every time Thancred comes on screen, I'm gonna find, like, a new thing to pick apart. And, like... To be very fair, I honestly think they could have done a lot worse with his design. There's just some things that when you stare at it long enough, you have to wonder what was going on here. Hey, horrible! My favorite queer couple. So, God, these guys are, like, bringing back memories from 2014, but there's, like... If it isn't Yorva Ovasc. Really? You didn't have to come all this way for us. We were side characters. Yorva's like, you're my favorite side characters. If you've forgotten, they're from A Realm Reborn, and they are the two guys that are always seen with each other. Is that... By the gods, it is you! Well met, Yorva, well met! You look different, you have a katana now. She's like, yeah, I have a katana. Yeah, Hoary Boulder once challenged us to, a fight, just as bros. Oh, Yorva! Oh, well, I don't know how she would say it. It's like, oh, Yorva! That's kind of like, oh, Yorva. Oh, you silly bitch. How have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. First of all, she's doing grandma core here. She's like, oh, come closer, I can't see with my eyes. And Yorva's like, Flamine, I know you're only 35. You're not 50 years old like you're LARPing to be. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I heard a girl was thrown from the church? Surely that didn't happen. I worried about you all day. Like, watch as she heard, like, really strange things, like... Yeah, I heard they rode on the back of a dragon all the way from a mythical city called Ozzy's Law, and she's like, oh my god, there's no way that happened. And then we're like, no, that fucking happened. That really did happen. We would have sent word sooner. I really don't know what his voice would even sound like. He's never been voiced, not even once. We would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. And the first thing we thought of was we have to escape with 35-year-old Granny. I guess you are right, everyone is a fetus once you hit 35. Flavian's over there with her adult child. She does have an adult child. Minfilia is her child. And she's wearing her little spectacles. And, I should do it, bruh. I almost feel like I should do that for Hoary Boulder, but maybe I should do them for, like... Guys, do you think this is... oh gosh, what's those two dudes in the Arcadian? Maybe there's shards of them. Anyways. But yeah, Flamine, you know, is dressing in her granny clothes, saying the most granny things. It's mostly her style of speech. Like, when she's like, oh, come over here, let me have a look at you. I'm like, Flamine, you're 35. Like, you're not that old. She did, I will have to say, she did have to grow up real fast, because she adopted Minfilia, when she was in her... She still adopted Minfilia when she could have had a kid, just not a kid as old as Minfilia, but, you know. Tataru found her way to you, of course, and we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hanish vessel. We were illegal immigrants, that's kind of why it took us a while to get back. We were not there legally. It pained us to not be there when you needed us most. But we made the most of it. I can't do a Surfer Dude voice, I don't think so I'm just kind of doing some sort of, like, Eorzean-ish kind of voice. We made the most of it, didn't we, Colton? Oh my god, you should have seen what we fucking did in Rezahana. Anyways. Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. Yeah, that's what they did. They surely didn't go out and party at the gay bar. We would have sent word sooner, but we didn't know whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last, and I can retire now in my 30s. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter, who is still here, I presume. She was with you guys, right? Yorva's like, we lost her. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? You're not getting that babysitter bonus, Yorva. Yorva's like, damn it. Forgive me, I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be, I mean... He's the other babysitter I put in charge. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her for the last... So Thancred couldn't adopt Minfilia at that time because I think he was only 17 years old or shit, but when Minfilia was orphaned, I think Thancred was like, somebody needs to take care of her, but I'm not a legal adult or whatever. Flamine usually like came in and she's like, oh, you're gonna take this child? I'll take it. But I shall pray for her safe return and busy myself in the meantime. And then like the busy herself in the meantime is her crying in the bar, just like, oh, I've lost my daughter. The number of times one of Minfilia's parental figures return to find that she's gone missing, and you watch their soul leave their body at tearing the news is too damn high. Look, there's a lot to go into Minfilia. A lot of her backstory is actually in Legacy 1.0. It wasn't in A Realm Reborn, but yeah, like, when Minfilia was orphaned, a lot of people were like, oh shit, somebody has to take care of this child. For a certainty, there is much more to be done. The Braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit! To the Scions, and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Yorva's like, that was very Renaissance of you to say, Hoary Boulder. Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones. Where else will we fucking go? Are they gonna teleport us? Oh. Meanwhile, the other guy's on a side quest. He looks more like an NPC with that haircut.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
It's good that they kept his
Why
underwear
must he
on.
be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favoured me with so much as a single compliment since we set out.
Yeah, he's no longer masking.
Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed.
You were also
I feared she would never
17!
recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every scion's. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
Nobody will be suspicious of me, an Imperial Guard, and a Lalafell dressed in a yellow cat outfit. But anyways, yeah, that should summarize some of the history of Minfilia. Thancred didn't know too much about... What am I doing? I need to go to the Rising Stones, that's what they said. They were pen pals, pretty much, so... Kryl and her exchanged lots of letters and probably were on the phone a lot. In fact, like, it's proven. In A Realm Reborn, you can see Minfilia trying or being on the phone with Kryl. Home at last. I must make my rounds and see who remains. Ah, it is great to be back in the Toll. Oh, is that what you're calling it now? The Toll? It even smells like adventure. Yorva's like, I think that's where the drunkards go to pee, in that bush right over there. It feels good to be home again, even though it smells like piss. To think that everyone is waiting for us, just beyond these doors. I'm sure we won't be missing anybody. I'm sure, you know, I'm really looking forward to Ida and Papa Limo. Friends and family with whom we've shared so much. God's help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Flamine, you are in your 30s. She's like, can you help an old woman in, please? Come, let's not keep them waiting. I can't handle her. She's 30 going on 65. It's all just a ploy. She wants to make sure that she stays retired because she's like, I'm a retired dancer. This is all just her ploy to make sure that she stays unemployed for the rest of her life. And I support her in this endeavor. I think we all should start wearing granny outfits, put on some spectacles, squint your eyes, dye your hair white or gray or whatever, and just move about the world like, can somebody help a poor woman? And then nobody will ask us to be employed ever again. Like, this is a great idea. So, alright, well, this place is looking a lot fuller. People have come back. I don't even know. Who the hell are you? Vamatia? Is that Lady Flamine I have heard about? Well, I shall have to introduce myself. She's like, no, she's not gonna... I think these are just random adventures that... What are you doing sneaking about here? Some of these people I recognize, when you go to, gosh, what is it called? The Steps of Faith. Some of these adventurers fight during that. I'm gonna go back here. Oh gosh, it's Clemens. Alright. Clemens has been around. She thirsts for Hoary Boulder. And she's now finding out that he has a brother. And, so, her sister is Aenor over there. Oh, I got it wrong. Clemens doesn't thirst for him, Aenor does. Yeah, okay. This is how it's going. Aenor is... I'm not sure. Is she the younger sister or the older sister? I don't think it matters. She thirsts for Hoary Boulder, and they're both finding out that he is a brother, Orker Boulder, and Clemens cannot... She cannot handle how thirsty her fucking sister is. And so she's crying over here because now her sister is trying to snag both brothers at the same time. Which, again, follow your dreams. Like, I think she has every right to. But I fully believe Hoary Boulder is... and they were roommate situations with Coltene. Coltene? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we have settled in, I would join the search. I'm not sure who else we're missing here. I mean, we did Midfilia, but that's really complicated. Huzzah! He has returned! Together, my brother and I shall serve the Scions till the breaking of an 8th dawn! Yeah, so he's been around, but Hoary's been away, so he's excited that his brother's back. And here's Aenor. Oh my! Decisions. Yeah, so she's like, which brother is better? And then she's like, why not both? Ochre! What in the seven hells drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, my brother? You and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. And so I became a healer. Because, you know, you're a tank, and you're gonna need a healer. Yet, now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Hanish, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the Braves. Oh, wow. That was mentioned all the way back in this game. This will be expanded upon in Endwalker, but that's going to be a few games from now. And drunk deep of the souls of mine enemies. Yeah, they're mentioning things in Razathan that, again, we won't even be there for a few more games. To secrete oneself to secret, almost like to secrete. To secret oneself in a ship's hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we know all too well. Do you remember Umberborn when we were all here on a ship? And they are well rested. I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there's no need to be shy. You should just get up right now. Pray. He still gets up. He's like, grant me a moment longer, at least. Though I'm happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. Now, here's actually an old man, but, oh yeah, here's your old man Yowie for you. Home and Isildur have become very tight friends. I heard it all from Elaine. So, where is she? If I'm to greet the songstress of Uldal, I would do so on my feet. She's right, like, behind, you can see her. Like, if you just turn around and stop talking to Home for like 5 fucking seconds, she's right here. I worry that Argus is getting a bit carried away, but I suppose I can overlook it on this occasion. I seriously don't have any memory of these two. They're scions? Shrugging. I seriously have no memory of these guys. We could do more. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions brings a bloody tear to the eye. He's drunk as shit, but are you saying that Isildur doesn't? He doesn't recognize that this is her right in front of him? I can't remember, didn't he meet her in Aramorborn, or has he just been around for the first time? Now, Femi, I know. We must tell the children at once. They've been so fond of Hori. They like to climb him and just swing on his arms. When our comrades betrayed us, I feared all was lost. How wrong I was! So, her father is Isildur over there. Elaine! Femi! It fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. Yeah, she seems to know Elaine very well, so I don't know why she would know her father. And there they are at last. Thank the 12. Ain't that the guy who didn't cast the ring into the volcano? Yeah, this is where he retired to. When he didn't cast the ring into the volcano when he had a chance, he got isekai'd into Eorzea, and now spends his day drinking and sharing stories with his very good friend Home. Everybody's drinking. Okay, like 2 people are drinking. Funny, they're both Rugidans. It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. They needed some hope. We've had a lot of shitty things happen. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition. I'm going to bring that up again, even though we kind of resolved that in the last episode, but, you know. It forced them all to flee. My stupid decisions. Do you remember I did that? I'm still thinking about it. This is very 16-year-old of him because, yes, of course, if he's thinking about it constantly, I bet you. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alfino. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalymo, every last one. She says every last one because she's like, I can't remember the names of the other people that were around, but you know, they were NPCs. And when they walk through these doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. Do you want this cookie? Yeah, I gotta take the cookie. I like that there was a pause there for a minute. We were just like waiting, and then Tataru probably felt awkward. She's like, do you want this cookie? It's just hands a cookie. Yorva's like, yeah, I want a cookie, yeah. Okay. We're already getting into it. That was a picture of the anti-tower. Thancred and Cryle contacted us a short while ago. I didn't think that was important. You know, you were just going around looking at everybody. It would seem that their foray into the Castrum Meridianum bore fruit. They ask that we rendezvous with them in Y'shtola in Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she will forgive me if I return with her daughter. He's like, I'm just gonna waltz right back in with Minfilia. I'm sure it'll only take a little bit of time. Alright, I'm gonna go to Idleshire. It's bagpipes time. Okay. I always forget that you can ride mounts in here, but it didn't look like I had to go that far. My god, I am just not used to being taller than I'm taller than Thancred. I mean, of course I would be, but... Hi, tiny man. He's like, are you done making fun of me yet? Yorva's like, no, I'm gonna do it for like a week. How is Flamine, by the way? Enchanting as ever, I trust. I shall have to pay my respect when the time allows. Oh boy. 'Twas rather less than I had hoped, though mayhap I asked too much. Uh-oh. Y'shtola's not doing well with this information. My apologies. I see I'm the last to arrive, even though I was the first one to fucking leave. So, what news have you for us? Yorva looks over at Alfino like, you didn't attune to the Aetheryte, didn't you? And he's like, I didn't attune to the Aetheryte, yes. Well, as we postulated, there was indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the ultimate weapon's destruction. There's just a crater there. I really want to know, like, what those two, like, they just walked up to it and like, yep, that's a big fucking hole. A ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believed Hydaelyn shielded me with the blessing of light. Yeah, that was another thing we needed to go into detail, but in the story, they don't really explain this totally and fully, but as we know, like, the Isle of Val just one day disappeared. And by disappeared, like, a whole ass island is gone. Like, when people sailed up to it, where there should have been land, there's just a whole lot of fucking water now. And when Kryl woke up, she's like the only one who made it back, and she supposedly was whisked away by Hydaelyn. They didn't go into a lot of details with that, so we're like, what the fuck even happened? But there is a storyline later about it. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Sildian aqueducts. There we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect from a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn. There is no other explanation. So they had to, like, compare waveforms to kind of triangulate something here. But there is more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2, but 3 beings had been affected. Yet, unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now, recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in a sea of ether. What, y'all didn't also see that? With Yorva's like, yeah, do you also with the Echo see a big giant floating crystal that's like fat as shit? And they're like, I think it's only you, Yorva. Though this too is all but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that when communing with Hydaelyn, we briefly leave our bodies behind. Yorva's like, you mean I've been having an out-of-body experience? No way! I couldn't have guessed that myself. So, let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her, body and soul, onto the ethereal sea? In which case, we must needs continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Charlayan construct conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Once again, Matoya coming in clutch. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower? I had no idea. Why the hell do you think she was here, Alfino? He's like, I don't know, I thought she was here to be cranky and old. Then our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. Yeah, so Matoya didn't just stay behind to be cranky and old, but honestly, I do think she did stay behind to be cranky and old. That just wasn't the only reason. So, alright, we gotta... Oh shoot, I don't think I still have flight around here. We're gonna have to take the long way. In the meanwhile... Yeah. So yeah, just like how you could surmise from watching the cutscene, one of the last cutscenes of Realm Reborn, when Minfilia turned around after Hydaelyn said, "No, wait, Minfilia, come back." That's what I assumed was we couldn't hear what was going on in her head, but I'm going to assume she was like, "Wait, Minfilia, I have cookies, come back." And Minfilia's like, "I have to go." And Warrior Flight's like, "Okay." She runs back to where Thancred and Y'shtola were, and then we see a bright flash of light, which is, you know, Y'shtola casting the flow spell. And so we know now what happened to Y'shtola during that moment, and we know now what happened to Thancred during that moment. Now we're going to figure out what the heck happened to Minfilia. So it's kind of confirmed she was, like, thrown into the flow spell, or caught up into it. And then Kryl is theorizing, a really good theorizing, that Hydaelyn intercepted during that moment and, I don't know, scooped Minfilia up like a goldfish or something. Just like, boink. This is mine now. Pretty much just seems like Hydaelyn, looked for a very good moment and she's like, oh, I could use this. So now we've gone to Matoya like 3 times now. This is like our 3rd time coming up to her, and she's like, oh my god, what now? Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Ah, though it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. Matoya's like, why else would you come all the way out here? To pet my frogs? We humbly ask that you grant us entry into the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the Ethereal Sea. First of all, the Ethereal Sea is like where you go when you die, so Alfino is essentially like, hey, we think a friend of ours went to heaven, can we use your doohickey to go find her? Matoya's gonna be like, the what? And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? Y'shtola's like, me! The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now, and I don't give a shit about that. If that's no deterrent to you, then by all means. Oh, you know that we beat shit up all the time. Amber alert on Minfilia naming Hydaelyn as a suspect. Everybody's link pearls start doing that annoying beeping noise and they're like, ah. Now, but imagine the Amber alert according to the Aors. It's like they look at the Amber alert and they're like, abducted, white, blonde female, kidnapped by God. Like, what are you supposed to do with that information? Like, the suspect is fucking God. Is that all? Y'shtola's like, is that all? Is it just God? I can do that. I felt sure that you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted the title onto me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed save one. Just in case somebody needed to use it. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. But she's like, I don't fucking care if anybody goes in there. If you fuck around, you find out. It's not my problem. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going or not? We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. She's like, oh, that was that Amber alert you sent out earlier, I see. We'll see about that. You, Valdesian girl, you're staying here with me because I need to know how to make a cat hoodie like that too. I think I'd look really good with cat ears. I need your help to restore the wards to their original state. The rest of you can go, I don't give... You guys are shit at doing wards, I know it. on the condition that you clean up the mess in the tower. If you encounter any unruly familiars, you're to tend to them. Those are my terms, and I will hear no argument. You gotta clean your room! Okay. Well, it appears the mistress has spoken. Lead the way, Yorva. The Antit Tower. Alright, now the moment of truth. I'm seeing some NPCs out here. I think this is duty supported. I'm going to be really sad though that we won't have Pogorogo, so it looks like... Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. This looks like duty support. Yeah, we won't. Who do we got? Okay, so Thancred's weirdly gonna be rogue tank. And he's just gonna be an Archon along with Midfilia. Or not Midfilia, Y'shtola. My mind's on Midfilia right now. Yeah, I'm not quite... After pretty much, the Aerie, I have not experienced duty support, until we hit Shadowbringers, pretty much. I'm gonna be for such a loop for Stormblood, because I have even less memory of Stormblood than I do of this. So, okay, this is gonna be new content for me, technically, because I'm not used to these guys in here. Alright, well, we're gonna pick up Hachi when we do the Arby's burrito and other dungeons. I don't think you were here, Hachi, so I have plans to do what I'm calling the optional dungeons, even though I'm like, most of these dungeons are not optional. You should do all dungeons if you can. But non-story related dungeons, I'm probably going to do a good chunk of them on Thursday, because I was supposed to do St. Moshian's Arboretum, and I think it was Pharaoh Sirius Hard was 3.1 dungeon. I was going to do them on Thursday, but then, you know, I fell ill, so... I was going to then lump them with 3.2's dungeon. Which, what do we got for Gears of Change? Are they gonna fly in the air with me? Okay, this is fun. Hold on, you guys fight for a minute while I look at dungeons. I think there's only Lost City of Amdapor, because there's of course this dungeon that was added. So I'm thinking I'm going to lump in Lost City of Amdapor Hard, St. Moshian's, and Pharaoh Sirius on Thursday. And those are not duty supported as far as I know, so I think that's when we'll call in guest star Hachi. If you're available. But, okay, yeah, I guess it's safe to assume that... I think they intentionally built it like that. This is a reference to, the anti-tower is literally something... Is it Final Fantasy 1? I actually have the Wikipedia up right now. Ooh, the Wikipedia has like a full thing of like what the outfits look like. Yorva's looking at like a JCPenney's like magazine right now, and they're like, Yorva, can you fucking focus? I don't really know what much else to say about this particular fight. Gotta fight one of Matoya's froggy guys. He's good at singing. Oh, you know, how does this fight go with duty support now? Okay, yeah, okay, I'm like, do you still get turned into a frog?
I have my pride.
I don't know, Alfino, were you a frog? No, I think it's me and Y'shtola. Oh no, I stacked AoEs. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was like, as I recall, you get turned into a frog, and the other players have to kill the other frogs that are on the field, so that the people who are frogs are no longer frogs. And it's particularly harrowing when the healer gets turned into a frog. But, oh wait, I don't need to do that. When he died, I think he was saying it's... it's not easy being... And then he died. So... now we're in the ether. Thancred's like, are we in the ethereal sea now? And Y'shtola is saying this is kind of more like the shore. You see, I love that Charlene literally built a contraption that will let you peek into what is essentially the damn afterlife. And like, nobody seems to think that this is a big fucking deal. They're like, oh yeah, they were studying, you know, how to pretty much go into the limbo, pretty much where your soul gets washed away and then, you know, you get reborn with a new soul. The way the ethereal sea is supposed to work is that when you die, your soul gets transported here somehow. I guess it leaves your mortal body. So, and then it's called the sea because you get washed away of memories and other things until your soul is like squeaky clean. And whoever you were before is pretty much no more. Because it's all... You know, it kind of like is that like your memories and feelings and personality are dirt. And you gotta wash that off. But then when your soul is nice and clean, then it's, you know, prime and ready to be reborn into a new body. And, you know, we're just casually dipping our toes in the sandbank right now. And it's like, should I be a little bit more concerned about this? Like... But it's also like, I love that this got abandoned. Like, they built this pretty awesome tower that again connects to the afterlife, and then the Charlanes were like, yeah, we're just gonna leave that. I'm sure Matoya's got it, and she's over here like, yeah, I don't fucking give a shit. You want me to unlock the door for you? Like, here you go. And she's like, yeah, they gave me an order or whatever to keep it safe, but she's just over there like, you can't tell me what to do. So I'm just saying, like, this whole entire experience is like, there's literally a knife, and Matoya doesn't even seem that interested in guarding it too well. And, you know, why are more people just, like, not interested in this? You would think that there would be, like, nations, like, whole-ass governments that would be interested in something like this. And, like, nobody really even seems to care.
Away with you.
I also don't know why there's a lot of homunculus.
There. Try this.
I absolutely love Rogue Tank Thancred. He's honestly just a dual wielder who's just like, yeah, I'll tank. I mean, this just goes to show, like, if you DPS responsibly enough, you can be a tank. He's literally blue DPS. I'm very jealous of him, actually. That's what Yorva's gonna have to come to. She's like, I'm sorry, Thancred, I make fun of you because I wish I could be a samurai tank. Why can't I be a samurai tank? She's like just crying over there, like, I want to be a samurai tank. Oh yeah, here's Ziggy. He is Ziggy Stardust, like, literally. I am not sure what Ziggy is doing here. Should also focus that. So Ziggy is a little guy on top of his big giant crystal. Like, he's just a little guy. And he is very much a reference to David Bowie. So, if you were wondering, is that a reference? Yes, it is 100% true. I am not quite sure. I mean, I don't think you need much of a reason to make a reference to Ziggy Stardust, but he is. He's just the littlest guy. He sits on top of his giant crystal that he loves a lot. I can't leave him alone. He's in my way. Fun fact, Lark's favorite boss is Ziggy. He loves Spriggans, more than anything. Yeah, so that was tougher than I expected. Like, I really can't explain some of these bosses. Like, I can understand why a giant frog minion is down here, because, you know, Matoya...
Release.
Matoya probably set that one up here. Oh, and now we're actually inside the tower now, and everything's upside down.
Away with you.
This is a very fun dungeon, at least aesthetic-wise. But the one thing I can't ever explain every time I'm in here is Ziggy Stardust, who is just a little Spriggan guy on top of a big giant crystal. What is he doing here? I don't know. He's just hanging out. He's just hanging out, and when you come up to him, he wants to fight you. And maybe Ziggy has cuteness aggression against us. Maybe Ziggy finds us very adorable, and like. To be fair, I don't think Ziggy knows why he's there either. I just don't even know how he even came to be. But, you know. Yeah, these are the janitors we're fighting. 100%, like, they're just... I don't even know what even needs to be upkept here anymore. Now we're fighting, centaur statues. Actually, I should admire this. So we have armored centaurs with golden hooves, and then they're even armored at their human top. Like, somebody from Charlatan was having some sick ideas here. I have to admit that this was a good idea. So. Pick up this thing. I don't even know if I even need the most of this loot. So these are little mammoth guys. Again, a very Charlatan thing to have around, honestly. These are just little guys, but they're little robot guys.
Away with you!
Every time Alfino says away with you, so even before he was a duty support character, he was saying stuff like that whenever he was in an instance where he was needed. It always sounds, when you listen to him, almost like a word with you. So a lot of people have thought like he's just like a word with you, like he's gonna give them a stern talking to. I'm not even quite sure. We had those bubbles before, didn't we? Like, you can see what they're saying on screen if you're watching fast enough. I usually can't read them because they go by too fast, and also I'm trying not to die and also look at my moveset at the same time, so most of the time I have to like read through the party chat right here to even hear. It's like Alfino's making a remark like even the candles burn upside down, and Y'shtola's like how very Charlatan to obsess over useless details. Like if it really were for like the chat box capturing some of that, I would have never known what they just said. Half the time because your camera's like this and they're behind you and they're saying stuff, but you wouldn't know. Oh my god, we still got more people. Jesus, don't you guys got something better to do? Like, you're a fucking centaur. You mean to tell me that this is how you want to spend your night? For real? Also, their AoEs are making it hard to be melee. I don't like this. 90% of the time when I've been in this dungeon, I've been ranged. So I'm like, ugh. Is this what it's like to live life as a melee? Y'all live like this? Oh my god.
Try this!
That has no right to hit that hard. Luckily I didn't die, like, but that took out like a fourth of my health. Oh boy, alright. We are Calcabrina! Adorable dolls! Terrible dolls! Yip ho ho! I can't explain why this is even here. Yorva has to be going in here like... Charlene did this on purpose? Charlene went... You know what would be great? To put in our tower that leads to the afterlife? Let's put in some dolls, like some ball-jointed dolls, Victorian clothing. Just... Again, whose idea was this? Whose idea from Charlene was like, that's gonna be our final bastion, you know? If you can get past all of our other defenses.
Focus. Release.
You can't get past the dolls. Someone's Grams needs to come rid of her collection. Oh, wait until you see. We're just on part 1. There we are. Final form. You know what? You said somebody's Grams lost their collection. I now know who came up with this idea. It was Matoya. Matoya was the one who was like, I know what we should put. If they get past everything else, they have to deal with this ugly-ass Five Nights at Freddy's doll.
Try this. I have my pride.
Now I'm a doll. And that's like the moveset of this doll. It's constantly just pounding the ground. Like, that's it. That's what it does. Yeah, I like, it took a while, but I was like, it took the comment of somebody's Grams lost their collection. I'm like, oh, I know who did this. It was Matoya. Matoya set this up for sure. I like that this is the final boss. This is the final boss of the dungeon. Like, a bunch of people out there agreed, like, oh, they're never gonna get past the creepy doll, for sure. Gotta save that one for last.
There.
I'm not gonna turn into a doll. Oh, you know what? Fuck this. LB. Whoa. LB upon you. Yeah, I also hate that it sounds like that. Let it be known that we actually didn't destroy all those dolls. Yorva, don't be she's like, yeah. That does not look like we destroyed all the dolls. That just looks like the dolls all ran away. So we didn't destroy that. We just made it stop. I don't like that. Oh no. Heartburn. Yorva's like, wait a minute. It was in my breast pocket.
Feel. Think.
Yorva's like, man, they keep telling me that, but I get caught up on the think part. Like, I'm having a whole... I can do the hear thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm good at the feel thing, but the think part is what's tripping Yorva up. She's like, what do I think about? And it's just like a
Through
cheeseburger.
time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst.
Mama. She's like, no, bitch, do I look?
We are the word of the mother. We, who were once called Minfilia.
I don't like that she says we were once called. Yorva's like, but are you Minfilia or are you not?
Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet. Since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world.
Yorva's like, I don't know if I want that.
Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think.
Yorva's like, I think I've gotten that message. Like, you've been telling me to do that quite a lot.
Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard.
Yorva's like, okay, but like, where are we going?
Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final.
Oh no! Now Heidelin has heartburn.
Is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Wait, hold on. What am I supposed to find? Yorva's like, wait. I found this really cool rock. Is that what you wanted?
You've had another vision, haven't you?
I mean, what gave it away?
Let us return to Master Matoya's cave. Everyone will wish to hear what you saw.
Matoya's like, I shot up in the sky with Minfilia. Like we were shooting stars.
Still in one piece, are we?
Maybe.
Well, did you learn anything?
The word of the Mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Heidelin than Minfilia. And if Heidelin has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
It's a little... Matoya!
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
He's like, that's common sense, right?
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait!
Oh, poor boy.
No, this is all wrong.
So Alfino's in a bit of denial. I mean, take it from his point of view. He's 16. I saw Mitch like, Alfino, where's your grandfather? He's lost his grandfather. He had to watch Hochefont die. Then he watched Yzael die. And then he watched Justinian turn into a dragon. And, you know, we're all like, oh, dude, he's gone. But Alfino's like, no, maybe we could still do something about Justinian. You know, like, he's holding on to hope that his loved ones are still savable. I mean, he's not seeing a dead body here, is he? You know, like, he's... I feel so bad for him, because he just wants everybody to be okay. He wants the peace, he wants to usher in the dawn's light, but he doesn't want to sacrifice people for that. Meanwhile, the adults, I mean, they all know what's going on, but, you know... Not to say that I don't think Alfino's not very much aware of it, he's very idealistic, and he's still naive, and I really wish Alfino could have his way, because as you can tell, Thancred's taking this really great. He's an adult, and he knows how it is. We're about to see Thancred's, maladaptive era. I mean, if it wasn't apparent from A Realm Reborn, Thancred does not cope very well with the death of people he loves or even likes. May I remind chat, Thancred blames himself for the deaths of every single person who was involved in the Ifrit mission, if you recall, all the way back at level 20 in A Realm Reborn. Thancred blames himself for not acting quicker about the whole Ifrit situation, and everybody who had to be slaughtered because they were all tempered by, you know, Ifrit. He blames himself for their deaths. Then he blames himself for the deaths of all of the Scions at level 30, because he's being possessed by La Habrea. He feeds the information to the Garleans. They storm into the Waking Sands, murder everybody, including poor Neuraxia. He even got possessed by La Habrea in the first place, because he was feeling so down about himself. But, Thancred does not go to therapy. And we have been noticing, if that really hasn't been solidified since the Cryal discussion we just had, Thancred's no longer masking with his playboy, haha, I'm so nonchalant, I'm so laid back, I'm a beautiful, handsome man that everybody loves at the bar, I'm a fun time, I love to party. He's not doing that anymore. He's tired. He does not want to do that personality. Now, am I saying, like, that wasn't Thancred and this is the real Thancred? No, I think both Thancreds are the real Thancred, quote-unquote. I'm just saying we're now seeing somewhere deep inside who Thancred really is. Him being very silent and walking away is not him coping very well. Alfino is not coping very well either, but I think he's working something out inside of himself internally. Thancred, I believe, is going straight to the bar to go on some drunken bender and then go home with a stranger or some shit, so, you know. But, alright, just this moment was so heartbreaking, though, so, like... Yeah, so Matoya is saying here, like, the Alfino needs a little bit of a reality check, but it's like, oh my god, like, yeah. For all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there is cosmic justice, a morality by which we are saved or condemned, and there isn't. So, I truly believe, while Alfino still clings to these beliefs, I know deep down inside he knows, like, he's 16 years old and he's trying to figure some stuff out, so... She's not coming back, is she? Oh god. What do I say to the boy? She did what she thought was best. She's kind of alive, like, you can try to go talk to her, I guess, but it's really hard. You don't even have the echo. I know that, I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. Or so will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice. The loss. Yeah, he's caving. I mean, like, again, a lot of people have died in front of him. And he's suffered through the fact that his Crystal Braves thing is the one that kind of set this all in motion. However, would this really have all happened anyways, had it not happened exactly as we went through? Like had Alfino not done the Crystal Braves things, would we just ended up here anyways? You know, like, I think he struggles with that because, again, we've all been young and wanted to believe in a just world, you know, because that's what Matoya is hinting at, that she's saying that Alfino wants to believe in cosmic justice, you know, this there's right and there's wrong, and evildoers get punished and the good guys get their redemption or whatever, and maybe that can be true a little bit, but certainly not all the time. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others, the Rising Stones, especially Flamine. I will brief Tataru on what we've learned, as well as Urianger. Oh god, Urianger, he's gonna... anyways, Yorva's like, oh shit, we forgot about Urianger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Yorva, after all you've done, I would say you've earned a rest. He's like, do you want to go join Tataru in getting jello shots? I don't know what you guys want to do. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a message from Sir Emmerich while we were away. It would seem he's planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. Yorva's like, Alfino, I don't think diplomatic ceremonies are what's considered a rest. Alfino's like, what do you mean? I consider that a rest. Diplomatic parties? He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit? Alright, so now we're gonna go away from the Scion quest line. Now we're gonna go back to Ishgard, but you know. So yeah, Minfilia is... I mean, she's lost... I mean, when you become... When your spirit is transformed into something that is not what you were before, it is sort of a strange kind of death. She didn't die so much as was transformed. She ascended. Oh wait, this is where I want to be. Minfilia ascended, is what we're going to say. Ah, Mistress Ovasc. The Lord Commander left instructions that you were to be shown inside. Also, there's this rose? I don't know. Do we get budget?
A pleasure to see you again, my friend.
Budget!
I take it you received our invitation.
She's like, all I got was this picture of a butt.
You of all people should be present.
She's like,
When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings.
do you promise?
In which event, your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire. But if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. Tis nothing. 'Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen.
Yeah, let it be known he was just stabbed like 3 days ago.
It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead.
Yorva's like, when was the last time you slept? When you've had a knife wound? He just smiles.
I knew you'd understand.
I haven't slept at all.
The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. Would not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all.
I was like, okay.
Oh, and one more thing. A drink. We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
He's like, are you do you want to do something later? Yorva's like, He fumbled it. He's like, oh shit. So that happened because the last time the Warrior of Light had a drink with a leader of a nation, Nama was poisoned and died right in front of them. So Warrior of Light's like, Americ's like, he's like, do you want to go out for drinks, Warrior of Light? He's like, he's totally like, Warrior of Light, do you like me? Like, do you want to go on a date? And then he's like, do you want to go get drinks? And Warrior of Light is like having like war flashbacks to what happened to Nanamo, and she's like, oh god, you better not be poisoned too. And Americ's like, oh shit, I fumbled the Warrior of Light. It's like, GG, Averick. You still got a Stinian at the end of the day. Oh boy, peace conference. I'm sure nothing wrong will happen here. Like, I have to be like, Warrior of Light has to come out of this, like, Amric just asked me out on a date, but unfortunately he gave me PTSD, and now she's, like, walking up to Lucia, and she's like, Lucia's like, please tell me Amric didn't ask you out for drinks, and Yorva's like, yeah, he asked me out for drinks, and she's like, God damn it, I told him not to do that. The Lord Commander said that you would come, Yorva. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. I've been looking up here for hours. Mark well the curtains above. She's like, my neck is very stiff. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Masons labored day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Amric wanted a symbol that would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the results. It was not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I'm rambling. She's like, I also haven't had a lot of sleep. I've had to make sure that nobody stabs him again, you see? You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you. Yorva's like, are you sure that you don't want to go sleep? Yorva's like, actually, I probably do need to sleep. I found a giant fat dragon. No, they didn't put a penis up there. That would be inappropriate. We would have to change the game rating to M for mature. Like, again, we have to keep Peggy 16. Hey, look who's over here. Artoirel, which I've been pronouncing his name wrong this entire time because I thought the I and the R were switched, and I swear to God, for over a decade, my mind, like, dyslexia'd me. But it was one cutscene only, they actually pronounced his name, and it's Artoirel. Yorva's like, I've been calling this guy Artoriel for years. And he's like, my name's Artoirel? Well, it'd be truly enough, I wonder. Is Dad out here? I think he's too old. He's like, I'll let the youngins go. Hey, Madeline, you're actually in armor. Wow. Ah, still here, old girl. This really isn't the time. He's like, I don't like putting on the armor, it makes me uncomfortable. I will do my utmost to keep him out of trouble, but I may require your assistance later. Yeah, Madeline, like, I think Madeline in armor, like, that's for show only. I don't think that guy has stabbed a single thing with his sword ever in his life. I suppose we came a bit early, didn't we? We came here because we heard there was a giant dragon dongle? Yorva's like, no, that's just a root, it's not a dragon dick. Nevertheless, better early than late. They're both here, they're like, we want to see the dragon dongle. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. Yorva's like, I just did that, actually. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend the ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoirel, she's like, Artoirel, and Madeleine, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Still gonna slip and call him Artoriel. I swear, I'm like in some Berenstain Bears where it's like, no, I could have sworn that the I was like right after the R. Who else we got here? Oh, Sir Redwall. my favorite book series. I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. There is a dragon dongle behind there. And Yorva's like, no, there's not. Well met, Mr. Savage, and fear not, I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. He's like, after everything you've done, I think it would be inappropriate for me to send you out on, like, errands. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravadian ambassador to a peace conference. Yeah, that would put a damper on everything. I mean, we let people out there know the war is over, right? I mean, I guess they still need to be wary of Nidhogg, but... Yeah, I'm afraid I can only talk about OG Redwall. I do not know about most of the rest of the series. God, how long ago was it since I read Redwall? I was in middle school? Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. I heard there's a dragon. It's just like, no. When I heard that Sir Aymeric was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I really need to look at his wonderful eyes. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. That's why I'm here. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's sexy to boost. I mean, he's also a thinker. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things. And he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just the peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand, we've all got healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to reconciliation comes as a great relief. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? You know, where my brother died. If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference. Oh, I guess, like, not when your half-brother died, but, you know. Artwara, wasn't that just, like, a day ago when we were fighting in the vault? Anyways. If you had told me that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. I don't know, did you see that 6 save Vidofnir did with that child? Yet here we are, preparing it to make that fantasy a reality. Ha! And here I am, laboring to make it so. Yorva's like, yeah, are you just standing here though? Like, are you doing anything? Lord Artuaro, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. They're announcing we will not stand for Dragon Dicks. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party has instead pledged to engage any Dravadians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury take me. They would defy Sir Aymric's command. He's so sexy and sultry. If they dare attack Vidofnir, it will not come to that. But see that it does not. We must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Forton present. Arturiel just has to stand there and look pretty, and they're like, oh, we can't do it in front of him. Like, he's so cool. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Amalin while I'm away? As you know, he is ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest. He's just standing over there doing fuck all, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. Artuarel, I don't even think he needs to be upset or sad for him to do that. I think he can even be happy and he'll do that. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return. Exhausting though that may be. He's like, I know he's a piece of work, okay? Just, we're working on it. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. He's giving her money like, here's babysitting money. I'm rather busy at the moment, old girl. Guarding this tavern, as it were. Yorva's like, looks like you're doing jack shit. Oh, I see now. Artuarel thought I might be derelict in my duties, huh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication, even though I've abandoned my post many times before. But since you are here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no, even though they're dragons and they fly. Most other people are inside the walls of Manolin. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not call the rowing packs. Your map, if I may. Right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old girl. Come, Anawa. I must return to my rounds. At the bar. Oh dear. Do be careful, my lady. Alright. Manolin is... I don't know. The way I interpret his character, like, obviously he's, you know, he's the baby of the family, so he has youngest sibling energy. Artuarel, which again I'm going to have to catch myself on saying Artuarel. Artuarel definitely has older sibling vibes. I'm not really sure. I mean, Hajifon was a special case. He technically wasn't part of the family, even though Edmont had other things to say about that. Edmont counts Hajifon 100% as part of the family. Artuarel was on the fence about it. I don't believe he was actively, you know, antagonistic towards Hajifon, just that he definitely, I don't see him as seeking him out to chat, that's for sure. And there's been hints that he probably did not like to think of Hajifon as, you know, the middle child. And Manolin also comes off as that, but it was more like... And Manolin's like this with everybody. Like with Artuarel, with his father, with Warrior of Light, with anybody. But also with Hajifon. Manolin just seems to be stuck in his own world. And so... Yorva Ovasc, Wolf's Bane. It pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds, and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. I took a piss off the wall, and then I came back. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made the arsonist confess. Clever, that. Talking about Thancred. Thancred, was it? Yorva, she said that to Anawa like he's talking about Thancred. He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. So he's like foisting stuff onto us, obviously, here. Like, he's not that clever. Like, he keeps sending us away. But yeah, being that he's the baby of the family, I don't think he was particularly close with Orchifont. Like, one, by the time he was born, Orchifont was probably already close to being an adult. And also, like, Orchifont was, as long as Lady Fortom was in the house, he was not allowed to, you know, really sit at the dinner table, if you know what I mean. But, let's see. Stay your weapons, we come in peace. Lady Iceheart told us tales of Vidofnir. If she would trust in Sir Aymeric, then we too would hear what he has to say. But the wolves caught us unawares, and were it not for this man, we would have surely died. Okay, so, you know, Malin actually did help out here. This is actually pretty useful. Fancy meeting you here, Yorva. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time in taking advantage of you too, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest, then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. So, yeah, nothing new that we don't already know from our time in Camp Cloudtop. You know, Manolin constantly tries to get other people to do the fighting for him, mostly. And everybody knows he's shit at fighting. So they try to give him, you know, easy to do things. It's like, on one hand, Manolin just kind of... Oh my god, it's him! Sir Spiked Butt, do you want to come? Do you want to come to the peace treaty? I don't have time to do your fate. But also, like... So, Amalin's, like, you know, constantly giving up on, you know, doing shit that actually makes a difference. But also, people in his family and some people around him have already given up on him doing shit all to begin with. You know, they just kind of don't know what to do with him. It's always the younger one. Every time, without fail. Thancred is obviously, like, you know... He's pointing out kind of what I'm talking about here. He's obviously not impressed. How wonderful you found Master Thancred. As ever, I could not help but fear the worst. Also, Ottawa, he's, you know, Manolin's little, you know, when knights have their squires, you know, Ottawa is adopted into the family. He may not be, like, I guess, like, you know, what is considered a son, but he's well taken care of. Ottawa is the only thing kind of keeping a Manolin in check, and even then, Ottawa is like, what, a 12-year-old boy? What the fuck is he going to do about it? You know, they kind of put Ottawa in charge of a Manolin, and he is 12 and also underneath in the hierarchy under a Manolin. So a Manolin can just push him around if he wants to. So, you know... And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes, if I ever saw them. Comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice, have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests? On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is not left to do but to enjoy our well-earned respite. Or respite. It's like, I have... a potion and an ether. I feel like he's just giving me junk out of his pocket. He's like, you just take this potion. Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Arturo wouldn't understand. Right then. He's like, don't tell my brother that I made you fight wolves for me. Right then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once, a suggestion which I agree. Go on ahead, Yorva. I will join you anon. Where are you going exactly? Here's a chewable mint I got from Olive Garden last week. No, that's exactly what he handed me out of his pocket.
Welcome! Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment.
This is quite nice, actually. Warrior of Light's like, oh, finally, like, some good food. Good soup.
Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks.
Just like Hodgefont used to make it.
Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
Oh no.
You were right, my friend. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I say you're dead.
The damn assassins. They got me. Warrior of Light at this time needs to get one of those little, like, strip things and, like, test their drinks, like, all the damn time.
Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
I got roofied at the peace conference. I want a shirt that says that, like, I got roofied at the peace conference. Oh, on top of it, Heidelin's giving me an echo. It's like a double whammy.
My son. They told me he walks in Hallone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do. Makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
I'm sure that'll work out just great. And you'll have more dead husbands and dead sons.
Hey! This is no time for napping.
Thancred, like, you haven't been on the fucking floor of a bar before. Thancred's like, this is strange. Role reversal.
Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Yeah, I got fucking roofied, Thancred. That's the first thing. Acting like it's my fault.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Don't make me do it.
Yes, yes, my lord.
See? See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
Well,
What have you done?
I mean, you told him.
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Maybe if you did something yourself and not relied on other people. Hey girl, is this actually about dragons? No, it was not. Time and time again, they say dragons this, dragons that. It's never about the fucking dragons. The dragons are a scapegoat. But trying to convince half of Ishgard about that is hard. I dare say that could not have played out any worse. Yeah, given that the first commander and Lord Artoirel are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with a messenger who said that they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Amanelin has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. Yeah, so Amanelin fucked up because he doesn't do anything himself, and I mean, he told the guy to stop her, and the guy has a bow. What do you think is going to happen? My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Kairousians tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything. And for what? And you know, Amanelin accidentally, you know, exasperated the class war that is what is actually going on in Ishgard. I'd heard rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Aymeric take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. I mean, it's just... Yes, the lowborn are facing problems with the highborn. That has always been the case. They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? Their calls for justice can never be answered. Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can. And yet, you probably will have to. Because, you know, it's always okay when they get to kill dragons. Dragons are an acceptable target. But when they have to fight each other, they get really uncomfortable. And so they go back to the topic of, well, what if we fight the dragon? What if we can just vent all of our fucking frustrations onto an innocent party? Well, what say you? Yorva's like, a lot of racism going on. So the violence is past, for now, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be, that's to be expected. Ingrid's like, that's exactly how it's supposed to go, honestly. For the moment, it appears no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all the casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us have not lost loved ones? He's like, here, take some Gil. Yorva's like, Thancred, are we making this personal? Are we gonna make this personal, Thancred? Lord Artoirel and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Amanelin, and I somehow doubt that he has moved to Ilm since last we saw him. Yeah, so much like Alfino, I feel like Amanelin is going to... You know that embarrassing thing you did in high school that keeps haunting you in your sleep at 3 a.m.? Like, this is the thing Amanelin's going to be thinking about at 3 a.m. for years. Fury take me, what a disaster. I should have never left. My apologies, Yorva. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Amanelin ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still, more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being, at least. The Chirurgeons are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it's like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. So I'd be distracted by the motorcycle. I mean, it does make a bit of a vroom boy, but, you know, it might scare Alpha, so we gotta make sure it's a little bit quiet. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs has been the more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protests, the people seem disillusioned. Clanker's wearing Timu Lucia outfit. Like I said, I mean, yeah, her skirt goes all the way around. Meanwhile, Thanker's ass is on display with, you know, his little side skirt thing. Like, we're having a very serious conversation. We're going right back to discussing Thancred's, you know, like, ensemble here. We're now seeing the back part of this shit. And again, it's not doing him any favors. We're seeing here on the back here, so his old little Charlatan goggle mask thingy is hanging from there. They kind of ditched that design. So every one of the Scions had those goggle things, you know, this mask, this half, like it goes over half of your face thing. They wore it around in Realm Reborn to, like, sense the ether or whatever. They're, like, night-sensing goggles or whatever. But, you'll see as whoever's on the design team or the story team, they slowly back away from this idea and they never want to use it again. They're like, on second thought, maybe the goggles were a bad idea. So, you spoke with them then, I see. Sir Aymeric placed his trust in me, and this has been an utter fucking failure. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. Aymeric's like, alright, let's get ready. And Lucia's like, yeah, several are dead. And Aymeric's like, okay. Okay, let me sit down. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and we shall do so again. If we can find but a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. Maybe we should, I don't know, do a strip tease? I don't know. Lucy's like, do you think they would want like a stripper pole or something? We must pray that you were right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference, pending Sir Americ's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Yorva, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Madeline. You're going with her. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions, in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Ottawa. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Tancred's like, I notice everything. Ottawa? Ottawa? I could have sworn he was... He's like, I've abandoned my boy! Alright, we gotta go. I do have to say, it's very concerning. We've lost a child in the middle of a violent protest. Okay, this is when we're sending out the Amber Alert. This is the appropriate time for an Amber Alert. Like, right now is the time. There he is. Oh, poor little guy. Oh, why are you on the floor? Please tell me you weren't roofied too.
Ottawa! No, no! What have they done to you? Ottawa! Ottawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Ottawa?
He's okay. We can't have child
Calm
death.
yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Chirurgeon without delay.
Thancred's like, we're still Peggy 16. We cannot. We're M for mature. This is not 18.
We were so close. Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing, and still it falls to pieces. Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Actually do something. Thancred's like, no, you're the protagonist. You can't do that. But I'm not the protagonist.
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
Yorva's like, Thancred's not doing well with the depression allegations. I mean, Madeline kind of deserved it. They were both emotional men, you know. I mean, you don't throw punches at somebody like Thancred. Thancred has been training for almost all of his life. I will take him to the Chirurgians. It's the least I can do. Yorva's like, do you need some water? Okay. Yeah, he's knocked out. So, and Mandolin's not feeling great. He took that out on Thancred, and then Thancred took it right back out on him. Yeah. Things are going great. Warrior of Light has to feel like things are going great in the family right now. The family's really growing really well. I may have overreacted. Maybe. Just a little bit. But it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. Well, I mean a little bit. I understand the desire to look for reasons. For excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. I know this, but you know this, Thinker, but you don't feel it, and you don't know how to deal with it. He's like, I know this, but and then he's like, do you want a weapon? And Yorva's like, what? And he's like, I have many. And he just like opens up his cloak and he's like, do you want a weapon? And she's like, is this appropriate? Is this appropriate of time? Is this katana cool? Like, oh, it kind of is. I mean, I have a better one, but whatever. Absolutely, Thancred is not ready to be a bigger person on this one. Thancred is trying to keep his shit together, and it is not... Like, so, back in the day, you know, when this was new content, this was a little bit like, oh god, we're entering a new chapter with Thancred. Because old Thancred would have, I don't know, said some sort of witty one-liner and, you know, tried to keep spirits up or some shit. He is not doing that. Like, he is kind of broken right now. He's very broken and he can't invoke his old persona. He's just not physically able to right now, so... And so he's trying to come off with an air that he still has things under control, but he seriously does not. He is seriously in need of some therapy, so... I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. I think Thancred is particularly bothered by Amanilin's whining and self-pity, because I think he sees a little bit of himself reflected in that. If any other Scion had been with us in that debacle, I think there would have been a different response to this, but I think Thancred is especially triggered by Amanilin, because I think he knows what it's like to sit and wallow in your own self-hatred. So, We have important matters to attend in Ishgard. Thancred is now going to be like, you know what? I know how to cope with all of this. Let's throw myself into so much work that I don't have time to think about it. So... I think I'm putting this Thancred's picture in a locket and keeping it forever. Like I said, I think... So this era is, you know... This is Thancred finally revealing parts of himself that I don't think he was ever comfortable with revealing before. I think simply because he's now just reached a point of being so tired that he literally can't keep it up anymore. But this is going to be what I call Depression era Thancred, and we're in for a long ride, let me tell you. This is gonna be 3 expansions worth of this Thancred. Are you ready? 3 whole expansions. So, if the beer didn't tip it off to you from the moment we met him, then this scene should have. Hey, even Dad's here. Hey, we received troubling reports from Falcon's Nest. What befell you there? Yorva's like, oh boy, this is now even tougher. She's like putting her hands on the table, like, so, about that peace conference. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Yorva. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has turned to Amric's like, I don't think you understand how much Ishgards have, like, a light speed way of gossiping. Like, the moment the protest broke out, it, like, shot through the entire congregation. So... Oh yes, if you like sad white-haired men, do I have a man for you? Like, he's not only white-haired, he is a sopping, wet, drenched boy. It is rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame, of course. Such stories are prone to exaggeration. He's like, please tell me somebody didn't punch him in the face and now he's half passed out on the floor. What exactly came to pass? Yorva's like, Thancred, do you wanna... She's like, so about the... I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He is further the cause of the misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away, is it any wonder that they were left behind? For what was this sacrifice? Have we naught to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmont, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we cannot deny it. We deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it. Aye, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But, as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted. All. A clear, unambitious enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. Yeah, against the class warfare. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options. See, we need the big brain. He's like, cue the music. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be the just thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Ameryk's like, I know exactly what will lift Ishgard's spirits. We will fight people in front of them, and by God, is it a brilliant idea. He's like, I know exactly what the people need. Bloodshed. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment. A victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But should we be defeated, though even to hold our own against the cream of 3 nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well. You may count my support. He's like, you know what? By golly, you're right. To stem the violence that we don't want, we need to encourage the violence that we can control, and we do want. However, I have a request. I would have my son Amanelin take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Ameryk's like, I still want his consent. Now then, we will have no time to lose. Yorva, would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once to begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. Dagger's like, alright, I'm just here for the ride. Let's see. Might not be able to finish this up. This might have to have a part 2, but I'll go a little bit longer since we had to cancel, so that is their solution. A grand melee to unite the people. Like, again, Thancred's like, so to rout the violence that's going to happen anyways, they're going to do controlled violence. And what part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? You, whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely. He's not liking this, if this isn't clear. And will you oblige them when the proposition is made? Will you stand for Ishgard once more? What would Yorva say here? She'd be like, well... She's like, I cannot deny Thancred. I really want to use my katana on things. That's the whole point of all of this. He's like, well, when you put it like that, I suppose it would be a shame not to see it through to the bitter end. Thancred's like, I do want to see the katana, though. So for this grand melee of his, Sir Aymeric wishes to field a force comprising both of his temple knights and Hilda's watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. Thancred's like, I'm taking control of this plot now. Oh, Lucia's got something to say. Well met, Yorva. Have you spoken with Sir Aymeric? Oh, yeah. I just came down the stairs from him, or the lift. I was aware of the Alliance's request, so Sir Aymeric would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficiency of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Lucia's like, I know how much Ishgard craves violence. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Yorva's like, well, Thancred just walked out the door. Did he now? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Yeah, let's see. We are on choices. Probably, once I'm done with this little quest line, we'll call it a rest. We'll do part 2, and part 2 will probably wrap up early, and then we'll do dungeons, you know, so we'll see what we can cram, in the next session. I really don't know, like, oh yeah, where Hilda's always at, like, right below us. Oh, come on, you won't let me jump off of that? Really? You're gonna make me do this? Go over here and then jump down? Guess I could have taken the stairs, but what's fun in that? I thought you had something to discuss with the first commander. Yorva's like, yeah, it was exactly this. Thancred's been telling me all about Sir Aymeric's grand soiree. Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing, because we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. I like this letter from Lucia to Hilda is like wrapped with like a nice little bow, and she's just like, oh, Lucia, huh? Okay, well, seems the first commander's gone and handpicked her guests. Well, can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye and a good ass. Will you be fighting, too? Reckon it'd inspire the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hides tan and all. Think about it, huh? I hate to ask, but... I hate to ask and choke on my own spit. But you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not, on the assumption that he's not to be found in his father's loving embrace. I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search Foundation, and you the pillars. Thancred's like, great, now I feel guilty about punching him, so now I gotta go take care of him. 'Cause I'm the dad. You know, we really don't get too many mom friends, but we get a lot of dad friends in this game. Like, this guy's the one who always carries the snack. He's always here. I don't know why we didn't think, like, this is where he was going to be, because he's always here. I carried on a walk in the manor. Our best chirurgeons are attending to him as we speak. He is yet to wake, but surely he will. So Father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. Well, I don't see you doing much to make decisions for yourself. Yeah, Yorva's like, you don't make your own decisions. No, it's not like that. It's just... Oh, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You are free to be the woman you want to be, whereas I am a son of House Fortal. Don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and couldn't do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it. Until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicated themselves to their causes. But not I. I just sat here and farted. I did fuck all. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. He's like, I lost a tooth, by the way. When I saw Anawa, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame. But in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Aymeric, and I will make my own decision. Finally! He's doing it! Even if it's just to say no, but like... Like, you know, like I said before, his family did enable him to kind of be how he is. Because again, there's a whole history of them, probably because he was young, you know, they made decisions for him. And then it kind of stuck with him into adulthood. Found him, did you? Yorva was like, yeah, in the same place where he's always been. Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what matters demand his personal attention? Yorva's like, I do what I want. I see, yes, you do what you want. Very well, you may enter. Yorva's like, I'm the warrior of light. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, just get in. Thinker's like, I'm just here to chaperone.
If I may, I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalaine, I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Emmanuelaine de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You will take charge of the Ishgardian forces?
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more.
Is it me? Like me.
An adventurer beholden to none, who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side.
He's trying to fix that fumble from earlier.
I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend? One more time.
Warrior Blight's like, now you're speaking my language. I like violence. Americ's like, I shouldn't have done the drinks. I should have just said, do you want to fight? Warrior Blight's like, yeah.
Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages. A celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
So Madeleine's finally made his own decision for fucking once in his goddamn life. And Warrior of Light's formally invited, even though Thancred was like, I'm 100% sure they're going to ask you to fight. We would not come this far if it were not for you, Yorva. It has been an honor and a privilege. Yorva's like, see, they keep treating me right, Thancred. If they keep laying on praise like that, like, God's help me, I think it might be love. Thancred's like, he asked you out on a date, didn't you? And Yorva's like, what? Did he? Like, I like to believe that, like, Abric's like, do you want to get drinks? And Warrior of Light, like, did not register that. And Thancred's like, dude, he was asking you on a date. And the Warrior of Light's like, what do you mean? I didn't know. I dare say it might be cheating, too. Your mere presence is enough to turn the tide of most battles. He's like, I know Aymeric is like, oh good, if we have Warrior of Light on our side, we'll definitely win. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? It was a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician were practiced at concealing his emotion. That's the thing about Aymeric, he is practiced. He just slips up when he's being a dumbass. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause. But that would be improper. This is their fight, and yours. But not mine. Thancred's like, I mean, I guess you're involving yourself in it, but I don't have to. Oh my gosh. I don't know which is cool. Are these cool? Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, so Thancred's like, I know when a man is trying to rizz somebody up, and that was that, but he fumbled it. He fumbled it at first. Alright, we're gonna return back to this, because I know we're gonna have to get through the Grand Melee, and then there's gonna be some more cutscenes, and I think that should be it for 3.2, so, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up at 15 minutes past. Thank you very much for joining today's stream. Again, I'll be here on Thursday, pending I don't have another bout of USA Outbreak Parasite, but you know, it is what it is, so I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.